All right, hello, welcome back to the Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight, episode 138, I think. Trying my best to remember the numbers because I keep forgetting. I've done a few of these, as we all know by now. Well, anyway, that's enough about me. Let the guest introduce themselves here.
My name's Torje. I am a Norwegian Ocarina of Time speedrunner, mostly known for like pre-SRM Ace any percents, but I've done some spot runs after that as well with some good success.
Well, I'm glad you've confirmed how to say your name for me, so that's good.
Yeah,
Because I was
a lot of
never
people are
fully
often
certain.
lost. Yeah, there's quite a few variations out there. Myself, I kind of mix between Torje and Torj. Both of them are okay. It's just my IRL first name, so it's Norwegian.
Ah,
So,
okay.
but I kind of like Englishify it online.
Yes, us Americans are very dumb, so thank you.
The one I hear the most is probably Torje. That's pretty funny to me.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting. I,
Yeah.
I was going with the one syllable variant, but
Yeah, that one works as well.
all right. Well, so OOT, nothing else, right?
Well, I actually started with Twilight Princess when I started
Mm,
running in Twilight in like 2015, but that didn't last very long, and I quickly switched to OT.
well, I heard once you start OOT, you can't stop. So
Yeah, that's true.
the
You
gift that keeps
cannot.
on giving.
Yeah, truly.
Well, I guess let's go ahead and start from that beginning. Um, Kind of tell us how you found out about speedrunning and started with Twilight Princess.
Yeah, so it was actually at the time I was kind of well ever since I was a kid, I loved Twilight Princess from when it came out. That was my first Zelda game that I owned, and I like played that religiously growing up. And in 20 like late 2014, early 2015, I'd done a couple playthroughs where I like at the final boss would look at my save file and there's like a little timer on it that tells you how long you took to play. And I think I remember it being at like around 18 hours. So I ended up looking up if anyone had done it faster before, and of course they had because speedrunning exists. And that's how I initially found the speedrunning community. And I ended up watching a no save and quit run from some GDQ, I don't remember which. And then I eventually started watching some Twilight Princess speedruns on Twitch, and I eventually started running it myself as well. And then I also got introduced to OT through that because as all the like 3D community is kind of tight knit. So I got introduced to OT. I started watching Joden initially, um, and then eventually I got really interested in OT through watching Joden because I kept asking questions about how glitches worked and stuff, and then I eventually just started playing that myself instead. That's how I ended up playing OT.
Mm-hmm. How long did Twilight Princess last then?
Maybe like 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months. Because I remember I started running Twilight Princess in February of 2015, and then I think by May I had started OT. So
Did you put
like 3 or 4 months.
significant effort in those 3 months?
Yeah, I would say so, but I wasn't very good still. I got a lot better at OT a lot quicker than I did at Twilight Princess ever. So
Mm-hmm.
even though I did put like actual effort into Twilight Princess, I didn't ever get good at that game.
Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people when they start they choose something they're nostalgic for. So that was your game, obviously, but usually I hear people kind of stick with that a lot. But it sounds like you switched over and didn't really look back.
Yeah, that is kind of what happened. Technically, I did have nostalgia for OT because when I was OT was the first video game I ever touched. I had I think my neighbor when I was like 4 or 5 had an N64, and I would like come over to their house, and sometimes I would just like sit by the N64, but I didn't speak any English at the time, and I didn't understand what was going on when I like booted up
Did they not
OT.
have translations back then?
No, not for Norwegian. There's
Oh,
like
okay.
there's
Yeah. I guess,
German
yeah.
and like there's German and French and like maybe like Italian or something, but I don't think there's a Norwegian translation. We're too small of a country to have stuff like that.
I see. And
So
but
yeah, I
in the
did
PAL
technically
version
play
then,
OT.
obviously.
Yeah, yeah, it was PAL as well. Not that I really noticed that back then, but now I could never play PAL.
Yeah.
PAL is horrendous.
What, like a nice crisp 12 FPS or something?
Yeah, it's like 16.6 or something. It's
Jesus.
horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes frame perfects free though, I'm sure.
it does. Yeah, it does. But they're already not that difficult in base OT, which is 20. So
Yeah. Yeah, you think of like Mario 64, and that's still at least 30.
yeah, and then you have like SMB1 where it's 60, or like
Yes.
most games.
Mm-hmm. So got into OOT and stuck with that. Um, just kind of
Yep.
continue on from there, I
At the
guess.
at the time, like right around where I started playing Twilight Princess, a glitch that kind of broke any percent was found called get item manipulation. That before what they used to do was they needed to wrong warp to Ganon's castle through the Deku Tree, and one of the prerequisites to do that is to have a bottle. And the quickest bottle you could get was go to Kakariko Village, like collect all the Cuckoos, and get the bottle that way. So that's what they did in any percent for a while. However, there's like a heavily RNG based way of doing a glitch that sort of transformed a delayed Dakenut pickup into a bottle in the Deku Tree. Um, but most people didn't really do that route because it was really RNG based. So I ran the original like Kakariko route for like 4 or 5 months maybe until I switched over
Was
to
that the
the
one that was
RNG
really
based route.
popular, like early 2010s?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the route. That's the kind of refer to that as like the classic Kakariko route.
Got it.
So I ran that for a little bit until I got like a satisfactory-ish PB with that, and then I switched over to the RNG route.
So how like RNG is it? Are there like odds?
Yeah. Um, so you need a nut drop from two. You need to you kill two Gomalings inside the Deku tree, and you need one of them to drop a Deku nut. And the combined chance of one of them, at least one of them dropping a Deku nut, is about 23%. And that's just the base drop chance. But then you need it to be not like there's like a range of positions that work. So it was actually lower than that, probably like 12, 15%. I didn't do actually like the math for that, but something like that. Probably like almost half of them were in a bad position. Um, so that was pretty horrible because it's like 7 minutes into the run, and
Hmm.
half of that is just watching the intro. Even though we
Yeah.
skip that these days, but back then we didn't have intro skip or anything, so we just watched the intro for 3 minutes, go to the Reiki tree, see if we get the nut drop, and then most of the time reset.
Wow.
um, yeah, I initially started running that route kind of as a joke with one of my friends that I made through OT, called Baker, who I'm still friends with today. We kind of just raced that route as a joke because racing like the silly RNG route was really funny because most of it was not actually skill based, whether you won the race or not.
Hmm.
And he was like an established runner, like he was like a top runner before I even started playing OT. And during one of those races, I beat his PB, and then from there on, I kind of just like kept playing that route, and for like I think it took like 5, 6 months of running that route until I got my first record, something like that.
And at the time, this was any percent.
Yeah, that was any percent at the time. So the record when I started running OT was 1745 by Skater, and that was the record that I beat a year later. With 1742 was my first record.
Yeah, that skater record lasted quite a while, didn't it?
It did last a while. Yeah, it lasted a year or so.
Which is
So
crazy for OOT. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is crazy. It is one of the longer standing records
Hmm.
in OT any percent for sure.
So this is the route with that RNG.
Yeah.
So how does the route kind of work in full?
So what you used to do is go to Kakariko, and then another prerequisites, other than having the bottle, is that you need the bottle to contain something that you can drop onto the ground and then pick back up. Because to do the glitch that you need to do for wrong warp called Ocarina items, you need to basically like backflip and then buffer dropping the bugs in air, which you can only do if you're holding something that you just picked up, and then switch an item into your hand so that it tries playing the cutscene for dropping the bugs with an item that doesn't have a cutscene for dropping the bugs. So it kind of defaults into the default cutscene in the game, which is playing the ocarina. Um, so the problem with the bottle in the Deku tree is when you do the glitch that delays the Deku Nut drop, and then you touch the map chest in the Deku tree, which overwrites the value of the item that you have delayed with, I think it's the negated value of the item in the chests. I don't know why it sets it up like that. But basically, whenever you pick up a chest or open a chest in OT, when you're standing in front of it and it says like open on the A button, that get item value is like set to the negative value of the item in the chest. And when you press A, it flips it. But because we never open it, it just stays at that negative value. And then if you jump in water, it continues the pickup animation of the Deku Nut, but the value is now changed to the negative value of the map chests, which happens to be a bottle containing blue potion. And that's how you get the bottle. Now, blue potion you can't drop and pick back up. So after getting the bottle, you would have to do a detour and go into Lost Woods because that's the closest bugs you can get. Because bugs you can pick back up after you drop them. So it kind of had like a, you went to the Deku tree, you did GIM to get the bottle, you killed Goma, and then you died at the same time as you killed Goma to leave the Deku tree, and then you would go get bugs and then come back and do wrong warp. So that's how the route worked pretty much.
Okay.
Now, shortly after I got the record, I think it was during SGDQ of that year, during SGDQ 2016, a skater found a way to do this glitch, but with no RNG involved.
Hmm.
But it was like 7 frame perfect inputs or something crazy.
Well, at least
So it was
it's all
very
skill.
difficult. Yeah, it was all skill. It was all skill. So um I know the 80% route before the GIM route, like the early 2010s super popular route, was like mega popular. And OT 80% kind of fell off in popularity once the GIM route was found because it wasn't that interesting to watch because of all the RNG. But it
Mhm.
only lasted a year. And GIM route with like the super high skill ceiling way of doing it lasted, how long did that last? Like 4 years, I think. But the impression that most people have of the GIM route is the RNG version, unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
How much
so the
time did it
GIM
save
route,
over that more classic route?
compared to the classic route, I would probably say, well, the first iteration was probably about 20, 30 seconds ish, I would say. Maybe like 25, something like that. Um, and then the RNG list iteration saved even more time. Even like it was all skill and it was also faster.
Mm.
And that saved another like 30 seconds, maybe something like that.
So
So it
very
ended up being quite a
significant.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up being quite a lot for especially for a category like OT 90%.
Hmm.
Um, and then from there, when that glitch was found, like Skater and Joden actually traded records back and forth for a little bit before I got it back. Joden came back. I think he was gone. I don't remember if he stopped playing for a little bit or if he played a different category, but he wasn't playing OT 90% for a bit until the RNG list method was found. Um, but then he came back and he traded record back and forth with Skater for a little bit. And then I traded record back and forth with Skater for a little bit. And then it got like pretty hard to PB for like, because this was at like early 2017, early like late 2016 ish was when that all the trading happened, and then it slowed down significantly from then. I remember throughout 2017, I think I got 2 PBs or something. I think Skater did the same. And then 2018, I might have gotten like 1 or 2 PBs. And then 2019, I got 2 more.
Is this with like constant
Um,
grinding throughout the year?
yeah, this is with constant grinding. um, so it was quite intense to get PBs at that level. But the record with the classic Kakariko route was 1807 by Joden, and the record with the RNG route was 1742 by me. And the first record with the RNG list route was, I think, 1732, something like that. And then it slowly got whittled down to. I remember my record that stood for a while was 1709. and then from there, I think I had like 12,000 attempts, which every single one of those attempts, I watched the 3-minute intro. So
Yeah.
quite a few hours sunk into watching the intro. But I think it took 12,000 attempts, finally pushed down to a sub 17 time, which was like the pinnacle of that route's history, I guess.
Were you the first
And
to
I
get
got that
that?
in. Yeah, I was the first and the only to get. Well, I guess technically not only because I was the only one that got sub 17 without further tricks being found
Mm.
because new stuff got found after that that made it quite a lot easier.
Nothing that
But
like
yeah.
changed the entire route though.
No, no, no. Just like a 10-15 second time saver
Oh,
here,
I
20
see.
seconds there,
Because
whatever.
I know as we progress, things get a lot faster. So.
Yeah. OT 90% is not this anymore. It's quite far removed from this now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with the whole SRM and everything. So, and actually right before, I remember at SGDQ 2019, I had submitted OT and it got in as like a bonus run, like a donation incentive.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that run, like it got cleared. It was like a $300,000 incentive thing
Damn.
that got met. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Was it like the
And I did
last
an
day then?
interview. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, last day or second to last day, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did an interview before that, and one of the questions that I got was like someone joking. I think it was Alien Squeaky Toy that asked jokingly like, when is sub 17? Because I had like a 1701 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I just like without thinking, I kind of answered, "Give me a month," or something like that. And then 2 weeks after I got home from that SGDQ is when I got the 1658. So
Didn't even need a
I
month.
held the promise. I didn't even need a month. I needed 2 weeks.
Huge.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. I did also dabble in other categories here and there. I remember in 2015 I ran 100% for a little bit on N64 when that route was faster. But I wasn't like longer categories like that never really resonated with me because you have to play very differently compared to how you can play when you play a short category. Like you have to focus a lot more on your consistency and you have to kind of slow down in parts, which is very much not how I like to play OT. I kind of want to play everything as risky as possible
Mm-hmm.
to try to save as many frames as possible.
Yeah.
So I always enjoyed the shorter categories more.
Yeah. 100% back then was like what, 4 hours?
Yeah, record was like four. I think ZFG's record was like 419 or something back then,
Yeah.
something like that.
That
Yeah,
is
so it was quite a
lengthy.
long category. Yeah, and I also did on N64. I also did Ganonless because Ganonless was. I mean, obviously now Ganonless is kind of trivial, um, since any percent is now Ganonless.
Mm-hmm.
But um, Ganonless back then involved wrong warping through Fire Temple using the Eyeball Frog like expiry timer that takes you back to King Zora as like what you wrong warp with. And getting Eyeball Frog early was an OT 1.0 exclusive glitch, or OT 1.0 and 1.1, which is only on N64. So N64 was faster for that category.
Mm. Oh yeah, I know
Um,
the optimal console flip flopped a lot.
yeah, yeah, it flip flopped a few times
In
for
fact, it was IQ for a while, wasn't it?
yeah, for any percent in classic Kakariko route. It's IQ. It still is IQ for that route.
Mm.
Um, and N64 was faster for all dungeons for a while. I don't think it is anymore. All dungeons is kind of in a weird spot right now, but I don't think it's faster on N64 anymore. I don't think anything is faster on N64 anymore. Like N64 has kind of been phased out. VC has become too strong.
Mm. Can't
But
have
back
that lag.
then,
It's powerful.
yeah, yeah. And GIM, the glitch that sort of made classic Kakariko route obsolete, used a glitch the GIM glitch that gave you the bottle crashed on N64.
Oh wow.
The reason it works on VC is because VC has, and you could call it correct or less correct error handling, but basically when when the N64 um has like weird, so I think it's like, I don't know if it like throws exceptions or what it does, but the N64 will crash when that happens, but the VC like emulator just catches the exceptions and ignores them.
Hmm.
So the game just like keeps going. um, so what happens during GIM that crashes the game is that it essentially writes garbage into the data that's supposed to render the item that Link holds up as he like gets it. On N64 that it can't handle that, but on VC it just kind of ignores the error and keeps going, and the item becomes like invisible.
Interesting.
Um, so yeah, that was a bit of a controversy back then because people didn't like that it was like a VC exclusive thing
Hmm.
because of how VC did error handling. Well, I don't know if they knew that back then, but it crashed on N64. It didn't crash on VC.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I know a lot of
but yeah,
runs will separate platforms if it gets too
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. OT has always been very against that because they have like all the consoles have been competitive with each other for so long.
Hmm. I understand in
Now
some
VC
cases
is
though,
very
like
small.
the IQ days, that that had to have been a pain in the ass. But
Yeah, yeah,
I guess you
yeah. The
kind of missed
IQ.
that boat, maybe barely.
um, yeah, I did miss the IQ boat, although technically it has come back very
Mm,
recently. Um, but there's a bit of timeline to explain before that, I guess, if I
okay,
want to go chronologically here.
sure.
Um, so yeah, after I got my sub 17, I dabbled in the VC route for 100%, which was recently found to be faster. But that only lasted like maybe a month or two. I wasn't very invested in that for kind of the same reason. I can't really commit myself to a longer category because it doesn't play out the way that I want to.
Hmm.
Um, and then SRM was found at the very end of 2019 or like early 2020. SRM was found,
It's been around that long now.
and
Damn,
yeah, it has been
that's
around. It has
crazy.
been around for a while now.
I didn't realize it was pre-COVID actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it was barely pre-COVID.
damn.
Yeah, so SRM was found. Any% got completely broken, and you kind of just started credits. Well, the initial iterations had you go to the Deku tree because you needed Slingshot to do the credits warp, but that quickly disappeared. Um, and now any% route with SRM, which is like, I think they use something called light node SRM now, which kind of just like jumps to an instruction that points to your file name, and your file name is written in a way that like looks like an instruction to jump to the credits or some, I don't know. I am not an SRM guy. So I don't really know exactly how it works. But they essentially just jump to the credits by doing a bunch of funky movement in Kokiri Forests. That's the gist of it.
Hmm.
Um, and during that time, I sort of took a very extended break from OT. I started playing FPS games. I had like a 3 year long ish FPS arc where I started playing Apex Legends, and I started playing that game kind of with the mindset that like, okay, I have a lot of practice habits from OT. I kind of learned how to get good at something through OT, and I wanted to see if I could apply it to a completely different genre of game. Um, so I started doing like aim training and stuff. I did like very active practice for FPS, and through that, and like it took like a couple years. I mean, there's not really much interesting stuff to talk about in that timeline, but through playing that game for a couple years, I essentially got onto a competitive team that played in the pro league for that game. So I was like a semi-professional Apex Legends player for a little bit. Um, and then when that fell through, we played we played two splits of pro league, and I think anyone above 20th place got automatically invited to be a part of the pro league for the next split, and we got 19th in the first one that we played together. So we made it through the next one. But then the second one we got 26th. We didn't make pro league again, and both my teammates and myself were all kind of demotivated by that. So I started playing OT again. And that was early 2023 is when I started playing OT again. So since then, any percent with SRM and Ace was like 3 minutes long. Or I guess technically, no, it was 3 minutes long because at that point they had allowed intro skip, so we skipped the intro now. So any percent was 3 minutes long, or like I guess four. Four is closer. And a new category had been split off from any percent called Defeat Ganon, which essentially was the GIM route. Um, However, they had found a new trick called triple slash clip that essentially allowed you to skip the collapse sequence um, right after you wrong warp without having to watch Ganondorf die and stuff. So, and that required getting either slingshot or light arrows. You essentially needed a first person item. And GIM essentially, if you did GIM twice, once with a map chest and then once with a recovery heart, you would first get the bottle and then you would get light arrows, which is like the final like ultimate item that you get in the game. Um, and you would equip light arrows to use as a first person item to do that glitch. And it saved like another, I don't know how much time that saved actually, but it was quite significant.
Was it minutes
Um,
or
no, like maybe like 30, 20 seconds, something
okay?
like that.
So kind of like all the other ones.
Yeah. But this required you doing GIM twice.
Which
Because
is
GIM
what,
was
7 free
already,
perfects. So now you're doing 14.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So people got really, really good at GIM during that period when I came back. When I came back, a few of the other runners that were like top runners of that also came back. At the time, Lawsuits had the world record for that at 13:10, and it was like a pretty high 13:10. And then like I think it took me 2 months of coming back and running until I got a lower 13:10. So I got world record back for a little bit, and then Lawsuits started playing, and that guy is just absolutely different at OT. Um, Whenever people ask me like, "Oh, who are your top three runners of all time for OT, whatever," Lawsuits is always one of them. I think he's very, very, very talented. Well, I don't want to say talented because he puts a lot of effort in, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So he came back because he hadn't been playing since I came back. So he came back and then he like slowly whittled his record down. He got like 3, 4 records or something in a couple weeks. And he
Oh,
got sub 13 with that route, which was crazy. It was a 12:57. And then I eventually, well, initially, okay, so there's been like rule changes with OT since like the period that I was gone. I guess the intro skip was the main one, and there was another one that happened. I guess this one happened right before I stopped playing, but I didn't like partake in it. Um, to hold ESS position in OT, which is the position on the control stick that's just outside the dead zone, which is required to do a lot of like the sliding glitches and stuff in OT. Um, that is very difficult on VC specifically because Nintendo just completely messed up the control stick mapping on VC. It's
oh.
completely horrible to use.
So
Yeah,
like
there's
even though like the Wii Classic has the notches, like they're not aligned with what you would be used to on N64.
well, it's not the notch. It's just like because you hold like very slightly outside the dead zone. Like you hold like completely in the
Yeah,
middle of
you
the
have
stick.
to force it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to. So the VC has an additional 15% dead zone. So you have to move your
Oh,
stick
okay.
further from center to touch ESS. And it also,
I see.
because it has a further dead zone, because it wants to cover like the full range of the stick from that dead zone point, it has to skip some values.
Mm.
And two of the values that it skipped was in that ESS range. So ESS range is now further out from the middle, and it's also two values smaller than it is on N64. So it's really, really hard to do ESS tricks on VC.
I see. Okay.
Um, Specifically doing angle changes, which is essentially moving in ESS position. Like imagine ESS position as like a circle around the dead zone. If you want to, without pausing, do a slide that like you turn right and then you switch to turning left without pausing, you have to stay in ESS position right outside the dead zone and move in like a semicircle from left to right. And people did that on N64 very consistently, but there's like 3 players ever that have done that consistently on VC. And I was one of them. It was
Hmm.
me, Skater, and Pity. I think those three were the best at doing that.
So you have to
However,
semicircle 180 like really quickly.
yeah,
Is that the thing?
you don't have to do it quickly, but you have to
Okay.
stay in like a very specific distance from the center of the control stick while moving in that semicircle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
How
so
quickly
it's
do you
quite
have to
difficult.
do it?
I mean, you technically have as long as you need. Well, for some tricks, you kind of require to turn left and then right kind of quickly. So maybe like a second, half a second, something like in that range.
Okay, but the difficulty is moving it in that precise way.
Yeah, the difficulty
Okay.
is moving it precisely, not really the speed at all.
So it's kind
Um,
of like the thing where you have as long as you want, but if you spend time on it too much, you're losing time, obviously.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. I
yeah,
see, I see.
sort of like that. Um, Now, when 100% got faster on VC, all the 100% runners were used to playing on N64, and they were used to the way the control stick mapping felt with N64 mapping instead
Mhm.
of Wii VC's kind of messed up mapping. Um, so what happened back then is people made like correction adapters called ESS adapters that essentially remapped your control stick so that moving the stick felt like it was mapped like N64.
Hmm.
And as a result of that, ESS became just as easy on VC on N64, but it was like a piece of hardware that you put between your controller and the console. So people were like
Yeah,
very iffy
borderline
about it.
tasks kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people thought it was cheating. A lot of people were not on board with people doing that, myself included. I was very against it. But a vote was held and it was allowed officially. So a
Okay.
lot of people started like it started being produced, and a lot of people started using it. The people that ran any percent at the time, including myself, had like a gentleman's agreement to not use it in that category because there is a trick that sort of requires you to do a couple of sort of quick angle changes unbuffered. And I think we all kind of agreed that a lot of the skill cap, like this, a lot of the skill gap at top level of that category was being able to perform that on VC. So we all kind of agreed that we weren't going to use it for that category. However, that changed
Hmm.
while I was gone. While I was gone, people sort of started using it anyway. Um, so when I came back in 2023, the record was set with ESS adapter, and the other runners that also ran were using ESS adapters. So after I got record back, I also got an ESS adapter and started playing with that, and it made the game a lot easier. I probably could stop playing with it, but I don't see a reason to because it just makes the game so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, if it's allowed, why not
Yeah, yeah, it's just fully
put
allowed.
everyone on
So
equal footing?
yeah, exactly, exactly. A lot of people equate it to, if you're familiar with melee, a lot of people equate it to like UCF. I don't think it's a good comparison, but
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm not a
okay,
melee.
okay. UCF is basically like a software mod for melee that tries correcting a lot of the faults with GameCube controllers to put people on equal footing.
Mm, okay.
But those are like hardware faults with the controller, like the control stick being weird with the way it pulls and like the way it degrades and stuff like that. But that's not really what the case for how OT worked and what we fixed in OT.
Okay.
But yeah, um, I don't remember where I was before I started talking about ESS adapters. I think I was around the time where, oh yeah, Lazarus has just gotten 17 or 1257 in the defeat Ganon route, which was double Gim, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And then I hopped on ESS adapter and I got a I got a 1258. I was 1 second, I think it was like 1.2 seconds away from world record. It was either 1.2 seconds or it was like 0.8 seconds, something like that. I was very close to the record. However, um, the cutscene before the Ganon fight, the collapse cutscene where the tower sort of collapses and there's like a bunch of rocks and particles spewing out. That cutscene, there was actually a bit of controversy in 2016 surrounding this cutscene. But essentially, that cutscene, the way the particles move and the way and the amount of particles and like rocks that spawn during that cutscene is based on RNG.
Mm.
and depending on how they collide with each other and how many spawn and that stuff, it makes the game lag more or less.
Mm-hmm. I had a
So
feeling
you
I knew where this
can,
was going.
yeah, you can just watching that cutscene, the length of the cutscene can vary by like up to 4 seconds in
Oh
extreme
my
cases.
god. Okay.
Yeah. So I was ahead of world record by like a second something entering that cutscene, and then I was behind by a second exiting it. So I lost record to the cutscene, which is pretty funny.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
hilarious.
yeah, I mean it was funny at the time too. I took it pretty well. Yeah, my 1258 has, I think it is the worst collapse cutscene I've ever gotten in a run, which is kind of crazy because I've done like hundreds and hundreds of finished runs. And of
Yeah.
course, in the one run that is my best ever, it just got, got the worst RNG possible there.
Mhm. I noticed that the time dropped significantly. Is that because the cutscene time was removed mainly?
Yeah. Yeah. Intro skip was allowed. So the
Okay.
time dropped by almost 3 minutes because of that.
So were runs that were done before that retimed or
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
That was a huge effort. When intro skip was allowed, the mods went through and retimed every single run on the
Oh my
leaderboard
god.
manually.
And that's a hella popular game.
Yeah.
Oh
Yo,
my
there were
god.
thousands of runs. Yeah,
Uh,
that
so
was a huge
the
effort.
times you were giving me earlier were original timing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything before my FPS break was original timing. Anything after FPS break is intro skip timing.
Okay. So that that's where the 3 minute deficit comes from, approximately.
Yeah,
Got it.
pretty much, yeah. Um okay, so after I got my 1258, I stopped running for a while again, and um I guess I started getting into software. I like started coding at the end of 2023. Started learning how to code because I needed a job.
OT not
Because
paying
I don't,
those bills.
it's not anymore.
Mm.
Um, so I started learning how to code, and for the first year or so, I didn't do any runs while I was learning how to code, and then I got like I wouldn't call it like an internship, but it was more like a trainee role at a software company for 1 year, and at the end of that year, they would like see if I'd gotten good enough to be like a full time employee as a software engineer. Um, for the first 3 months, I was in like a training phase where like um, I was pretty much doing tasks very closely with like a mentor type of person. But after the first 3 months, even though I was still on a trainee position for like another 9 months, um, I was just treated as a completely normal engineer, and I was just on the team like normal. So the question of like being good enough after a year was like pretty apparent that I was gonna be fine. And I'm still technically in that trainee year right now. My contract expires in 1 month, but I've gotten my full time contract, so I have a job now.
Love to see it.
But during that, yeah, yeah, during that period, um, we had a tournament someone hosted. Someone called, I think it was Thunder mainly, Thunder OT, another OT runner, hosted a tournament of the classic Kakarika route before GIM, and it was like a small tournament. I think we were like 7 or 8 people that participated, and we all got back into it just to run that like old classic Kakarika route. And classic Kakarika route is also very often used as like a beginner route for OT because it's very approachable for beginners.
Yeah, it's on the leaderboards, isn't
Um,
it?
it is now. It is now
I
because
see.
of that tournament. Because of that tournament, people wanted to make it a category on the extensions board. Um, and so when that happened, it got a bunch of submissions. There's like a trial period of the extensions board where like you need a certain amount of submissions within X amount of time for it to be feel like it's worth having there.
Hmm.
But it got that pretty quickly, and the IQ, like the record for that is still the 1807 by Joden from back then. However, now it'd been retimed with intro skip timing, which is now 1519.8 or something. It's like a very high 1519.
Mhm.
And IQ is still the fastest console for that category. And then a few months later, it got promoted to a main category. So it's on the main leaderboard now as a subset of Defeat Ganon. It's the main subset of Defeat Ganon. Like if you click Defeat Ganon on the OT leaderboard, the classic Kakarika route is the one that it shows first.
Okay.
Um, so I started running that. I grinded that pretty actively actually throughout the summer specifically because I was on like break from work for about a month.
Did you get an IQ for it?
I do have an IQ now. I have
Mm.
not. It doesn't have OT on it yet. I haven't bothered
Ah.
modding it or anything, so I haven't actually played OT on it. But I do have an IQ. Um, However, I managed to beat record on VC still. So that 10-year-old record by Joden, I managed to beat it on a slower console, which is pretty cool.
What's the deficit?
That's um okay, so before intro skip, I think it was 9 or 10 seconds. I think it was 9 or 10 seconds before intro skip, but 4 of those seconds were saved during the intro itself. So now it's like about like 5 seconds maybe.
Okay.
IQ is faster. And I beat the time by 3 seconds or so. So
Got it.
yeah. I wanted to play on IQ as well, but I haven't gotten around to it. I've been busy with work and stuff, so I haven't really gotten to set up my IQ and get around to playing it on that.
But someday.
Someday, one day the IQ is coming out. I'm like looking at it over on my it'll come out. It's kind of just sitting there.
Yeah, you got
But
that free 5 second time save now. It's gotta be
yeah.
done.
Also, I don't know how much I trust the timings because that timing is originally from like 2014 or something. So I kind of want to,
Approximately.
yeah, I kind of want to play IQ just to see, like, if I do like a couple thousand attempts on the IQ, and then compare my sum of best to my sum of best on the on VC to see how they compare actually.
Mhm.
But yeah. And that record I got on Classic Kakariko was the last time I did runs.
Oh, well.
That's like a few months ago now. And I haven't really done runs since then at all.
So that's
Because I've been busy.
the full OT timeline then.
That is the full OT timeline.
Mhm.
I guess I could also mention that like before Classic Kakariko route became a thing, the GIM route actually became obsolete. Danny B found a glitch called Dino Warp in the Dongo's Cavern that let you. The way the way Dino Warp works is crazy. You essentially, yeah, the way Dino Warp works is actually incredible. You double load the Dongo's Cavern by like going in and out of a loading plane from out of bounds, and then you write data to using the graphics of the game. Like you pause, and like when you pause in OT, it takes like a screenshot and writes the screenshot to a certain part of memory. Um, Danny B has like a 30-minute video explaining how this works, so I'm not gonna be able to crunch it down.
I'm sure he brought it
But
up a
he
few months
he
back
probably
too.
did, yeah, probably did, yeah. But that glitch essentially like you use the volume of an enemy, like the music that plays when you get close to an enemy, that like it is louder the closer you are, that like fades out when you walk away. They stand at a very specific distance relative to an enemy, and that lets you it somehow points to a very specific part of the graphics of like where the screenshot when you pause is stored. And if you if you stand at a very specific spot to write very specific colors into those values, um, it essentially writes those colors as polygon data of the Dodongo's cavern. and those colors specifically create a polygon underneath the Dongo's cavern that you can jump into. That is a loading zone that leads to Ganon's tower. So they, with graphics, create a polygon in the Dongo's cavern that just leads to Ganon's castle, and then jump into it.
It
So that was
really is the gift that keeps on giving.
yeah, it, and that was found 25 years into OT's lifetime. A crazy glitch like that was found where they just create a polygon out of thin air.
I can believe that it took that long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is believable.
I feel like you have to have like
Um,
some incredible programming knowledge to even
yeah, we
comprehend
have.
this.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely have our set of like mega nerds in the OT Discord that handle this kind of thing. I'm unfortunately not one of them. I can understand the explanations that people put out, but I don't think I could create them.
You see, I make my 36 years after the game came out discoveries on accident and they're free. That's my
Yeah,
strategy.
yeah. There you go.
No work required.
Yeah. But yeah, that became the faster version of the defeat Ganon. Defeat Ganon no SRM is what it was called. So the GIM route is now officially completely obsolete. There's no route that does it anymore,
Is
or
it
no
not
category
kept
that has
track
it
of?
as its
Oh,
route.
okay. It's not
No,
tracked
no,
of
no,
anymore.
not it's not
Hmm.
it's not tracked at all.
I feel like it could be
And
a
the record for that route is
subcategory.
like, yeah, maybe.
Depends on how
I don't
different
remember
it
what the record is
is.
for that. It, well, it is very different, but it's also like GIM route had its reign for like
Yeah.
10 years, and me as one of the main GIM route runners were like, when Dynawarp was found, I'm like, yeah, GIM had a good run.
All right.
It's
Fair.
fine. Like it had its reign.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah.
So classic Kakariko is like the 16 star, but you can fit
Yeah,
GIM
sort
anywhere,
of.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, classic Kakariko route is probably the 16 star of OT now these days.
I see. And so, how much time did this route save?
The Dynawarp route initially saved like, I don't remember how much it was, maybe like a minute or something. It
Oh,
was quite significant, but now it's even more. The record for that hour is like 10 minutes something now.
oh God.
So it's quite significant. There's
Hmm.
there's no way like GIM would ever compete in that
Yeah,
route anymore. But yeah.
I see. Maybe JM could be category extension or something.
Maybe there's been some talk about it, but there's
Yeah,
not enough push for it because
not enough
GIM was
people are.
like, yeah, because of how hard GIM is, because
Yeah,
like it's 7 perfect inputs or whatever. Like you can do it in
times two.
slightly easier ways, but it's also, yeah, that, and it's also like very weird to learn. Like the frame perfect inputs, if it was just like, oh yeah, do this, then this, and this, then it would be easy. But the way that you have to, the things that you have to look for and understand to do those inputs is very strange. And there's like maybe two people that fully understand it, me being one of them. I started working on a tutorial for it, but then Dynawarp was found. I'm like, I don't care to to do this anymore.
Save the effort.
Yeah, it's too much effort for something that's not optimal anymore.
Mhm.
So
Is this new route significantly easier then?
no, it's very hard as well. The new route is
Okay.
also very hard.
Are they
So
like
it's
equal in
it's got that
difficulty
going
then?
for it.
Kind of.
I would say so. I would
Okay.
say so, probably. So it's not like a downgrade in terms of skill expression at least. So I'm happy about that.
Okay.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I was okay with JM going,
Okay.
because it's still a very, very hard route and it still has like a lot of skill expression. So
Okay. So that history is just now part of this now. The
yeah, pretty
GM history.
much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see it at least.
Hmm. Because I know, with the classic Kakariko route having its own leaderboard now, like I guess they have a combined history at some point in their timelines then
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
branch off, which can be a little
yeah.
confusing, I guess, but
Yeah, it can be. Sure.
just gotta make sure the history's preserved somehow, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Have you tried this other route too?
I have not. I was thinking about it, at first, but I'm like I wasn't too interested in it. It was faster on VC for a while, but then they found out a way to do it that was exclusive to GameCube that was even faster.
There's
And
so
I don't
many
have the
versions of
GameCube
this
version of
damn
the game.
game.
Yeah, it's way too many. But yeah, I didn't really care to buy a GameCube copy for a route that I wasn't really interested in the first place. So
Fair enough.
I never ended up trying it.
But the IQ.
So I don't even know. The IQ.
That gets a
There
pass.
was yeah, because I was running classic Kakariko route actively,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I just gotta imagine that thing cost
yeah.
$10,000. Not really, but you know what I mean.
People imagine the IQ to be like a $400 console because it is if you look at eBay. But if you go directly to the source in like Chinese markets and stuff, you can get it for pretty cheap. I think I got mine for like $75.
Oh my god. Okay.
So yeah,
No
people just don't know where to look.
tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. There's there's some well, it's been ongoing for a while right now. There's like one guy that knows the IQ really, really well, and he's busy writing a master's thesis.
Ah.
Um, but we have him, and I think a few other people are also working on this that have written a custom firmware for the IQ. Because the IQ, if you haven't seen it, is it's essentially a console
In a controller.
in a controller,
Yeah. Almost like a
and
plug and play.
it is a plug and play. Yeah,
Yeah. Just with like N64 hardware in it, as opposed to whatever garbage emulator sometimes stuff they're shoving into Jack specific SpongeBob
yeah,
knows
yeah.
and whatever.
I think the reason it was made was because I think it's either there was some sort of console ban in China at the time,
Yeah.
and somehow that made it around that ban legally somehow, or there was something like the console had to be licensed and like produced by a Chinese company, so like Nintendo like let
Yeah,
this other company make.
I think that's it. The
Yeah,
the
that
history is
that
very
sounds more
interesting, but
plausible.
also very complicated.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure there's a video somewhere that explains it better.
probably. But essentially, the controller of the IQ is horrible. Was the
Mm.
point that I was making. So
Yeah.
people have figured out that you can plug in a controller like the IQ pinout has pins for other players, but you can't control OT with player two or player three or player four or whatever.
Mhm.
So I don't remember his name, but uh, the guy wrote a firmware for the IQ, like a custom firmware that essentially reroutes player two controls to player one, which lets
Mm.
you essentially plug in a controller to the IQ, like an N64 controller or even a GameCube controller, and just play the IQ with a normal controller.
Hmm.
Um, but the legality of this
Mm.
is kind of being investigated because we don't know if the custom firmware has an effect on other stuff like loading times or performance of any kind like that.
I see.
And they're like going to thoroughly test all that stuff before they allow it. Um, but I think it's kind of in a stalemate. It's been like a stalemate for a year now, that
Mm.
whole legality discussion. I don't think it's going to start again until someone just does a run with the firmware and submits it so that mods have to talk about it to verify the run.
I know when Pace was
Maybe.
around, this guy would come and bring his IQ and have it like a whole station
Oh
for it.
yeah.
Wonder
That's
I don't know
cool.
if it's the same guy or not, but yeah, he very
I
knowledgeable
did.
about the IQ.
Maybe it was that guy then.
Yeah, I blank on the name, but yeah, it had so much stuff running on that and all the IQ versions of like because the way it loads the games is very interesting.
Yeah, it has them all on like a flash cart
Yeah,
or
it's like
something.
an official flash cart kind of deal,
Yeah, yeah.
which as a big EverDrive lover as
Mhm.
we all are, that's very interesting because those are certainly not official products,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and they'd never do that ever.
Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah, that was a China exclusive one for sure.
hmm but yeah, that controller is really heavy.
Yeah, it's not great. I haven't actually
hmm
like played. Well, I did play on it once in like 2016 when I went to SGDQ as a baby child in 2016. Um, but I haven't actually played OT on it since then.
Yeah, the stick's
But
like
I've
really
held the
small
controller.
too, isn't it?
Yeah, the
At
stick
least
is
compared to
weird. It's like,
N64.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have that much experience playing on an N64 controller either,
Mm.
because I use a GameCube controller.
Ah, yeah.
But um,
I think it's a similar stick shape, but like just smaller.
it looks very similar. Yeah,
Yeah,
smaller could be right. I'm not actually sure, but that sounds right. So,
yeah.
but
Going
the
off
controller also
memory,
gets really
which
hot.
could be wrong.
It's
I
really
don't know.
hot because it's the console itself.
Oh yeah, I
So
didn't
you get
even
like
think
really
it heats up.
sweaty. Yeah,
Like,
it gets really
how does that
sweaty and
thing do
stuff.
its ventilation? Uh-oh.
Yeah, through your hands, it attempts to
Oh
ventilate.
no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a great design.
No. But well, yeah, I forgot it had the port for multiple players, so I don't know. Get away around that. That'd be
Yeah,
very nice.
yeah, it would be nice. The problem with it is that like if it gets legalized, it has implications for the categories because the only thing stopping IQ from being optimal and like well, not stopping it from being optimal, it is optimal for like stuff like glitchless,
Yeah.
is the fact that it's hard to play on
Hmm.
and hard to obtain an IQ. But if we make it like easier to obtain, then more people are going to be, or easier to play on, then more people are going to be pressed to obtain an IQ, which kind of lowers the, or like it makes the barrier of entry worse for those categories if you want to play at a top level because you need to have an IQ to compete.
Hmm.
That happens. So I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. Like I want to be able to play on the IQ because it's just completely lagless VC. Like it, well,
Yeah.
it's more like completely lagless N64 because the hardware is a lot newer than the N64 itself. I think it's
Hmm.
like 5 or 6 years after the N64's release. Um, so it's like completely lagless N64, and the Chinese text is also faster. But
Hmm.
because it's completely lagless, it feels great to play on, from what I've heard. But you're not gonna you're not gonna feel great if you're not playing with a proper controller, unfortunately.
Hmm. Well, I guess if worst comes to worst, you can always just make separate leaderboards for the consoles.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen with OT.
Yeah,
That like people bring it up as like a joke at this point. Like
is
that's
it a
never
joke?
actually gonna happen. Yeah. It's been a joke for like 10 plus years. Well, maybe longer. Just as long as I've been involved in the game, that's always been a joke to separate them.
Yeah,
Like no one actually takes that seriously.
yeah. I'm so
But
used,
maybe
like, I
maybe one
have it
day.
so lucky with NES stuff because the original console is the fastest version,
Hmm.
and then the emulators are perfect. Like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
perfect enough,
Right.
as people have learned. But and yeah, like any other Wii VC or whatever version's actually slower in frame rate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't have to deal with any of this bullshit. If
Yeah,
I
because the
was
NES runs at
dealing with
like
N64, I just I ugh, I can't do
yeah, no,
that.
the N64 emulation is just awful.
Hmm.
But the NES runs at what like some I remember there was some strange
Yeah,
fraction or
I
whatever
say
expected to it.
60.09 FPS.
Yeah, it's something like that, slightly above 60. And the
Hmm.
reason that's faster than VC is because VC is at 59.94, right? So it's slightly slower.
I forget the exact decimal, but yeah, it's slower than 60, and then all other
Yeah.
versions like Switch Online is 60 flat, which is still
Mm,
slower.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, actually, Wii VC, funnily enough, was found recently to, if you like changed the resolution or something, it ran faster. I know this
Oh,
because
really?
I had the Wii VC world record, and it was
Oh,
beaten by like zero point 0.3 with a slower run or something because they found this.
oh.
But then they went on to like actually beat it, so I'm not mad anymore. But
Okay. Cool. You were mad for a little bit.
I was mad for a little bit, but I'm less mad now. But
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
it was just funny because we thought forever like WVC is this frame rate, but no, if you do a setting thing, it can run a little faster.
That's cool. I
2025
didn't know
discovery, by the way.
that. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
uh,
Yeah, I did actually in 2016. I also had a Super Mario Bros. Arc because I have an
now
NES
I'm
and
interested.
I ran that game,
Please continue.
but I wasn't. I never got very good at it, but I would like. I would hang out on like Darbian's chat a lot. I
Mm,
remember.
good times.
Yeah. And then I eventually started. I ran it for like I don't know. I don't remember how long. A few weeks. I think the thing from those streams that people remember most weren't actually my my SMB one runs because I think I had like a 5:16 or something. Not a very good time, but
It's not bad for the time, especially.
I guess. But you know, there's room for improvement for sure.
Yeah.
but I had like the dual cart that had Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt on it.
Hmm.
And I have the Duck Hunt like gun. So whenever I got bored or whatever during my SMB1 streams, I would just play Duck Hunt instead.
Mm,
And there's like some meme edits and whatnot that came out of that.
I see.
Me playing Duck Hunts.
Yeah. That's
I
actually
think I
the
have it
most
for
popular cart to use is the Duck Hunt one because it's easier to start your
Mm.
timer with the start press on the
Oh
game
yeah.
select screen.
Isn't there one that has like 3 games on it too?
Yeah,
Like
there's
some racing game or something?
one with a game called World Class Track Meet which uses the power pad.
Yeah.
But that was like a
Yeah, that
specific
one.
release where it
Hmm.
came bundled with the orange zapper and then also the power pad.
Okay.
When I think the more popular release was just the zapper with Duck Hunt. I could be wrong, but that was when it
Okay.
was the gray zapper,
Mm.
which is what I had growing up. So
I see.
yeah, I don't know the full history, but yeah,
Yeah,
which
I don't either.
the triple cart works like essentially the same. You push start
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
thing with the same delay, and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah. And I remember I think Darbian used the one with 3 games, which is why I know that one.
Yeah, there was a picture of Cosmic Darbian and Andrew G at a GDQ, and they all just happened to play on the different versions. So there's a picture of
Oh,
them
I
all holding
see.
their carts. I'm trying to
Hmm.
remember whose was whose, but yeah, like find that picture and that would you'd get your answer, I guess,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's a
Yeah.
pretty popular one. But yeah, all work, but yeah, the standalone cart's just annoying because with Mario One you have to do the delay,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So you have to do
it's
the
just
delay
harder to
from
do it
like
on
power on or
reset. It's
whatever.
more inconsistent than
Yeah.
timing a split with a start press.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, what 516 is where you left your PB then?
Yeah. I
Well,
I, I didn't
you can
have
always come
like a
back, right?
flashcard or anything. I could. Yeah, I never had a flashcard or anything, so I never like got proper practice in.
Yeah.
I kind of just like played through it.
Well, back then
That's
there
my
wasn't
practice.
really anything, was there?
No,
In
I there was
2016.
a yeah, Darbian definitely had like save states or something on some
Okay.
flashcard of some sort.
I'm trying to remember when the
So
Power Pack came out. I think that was like the first thing, but a lot of people still
maybe
use
I'm
that.
misremembering.
I don't.
I could be
I
misremembering when I
wasn't
actually
around in
ran the thing.
2016, so I can't. So I don't
Okay.
remember. Um, I know EverDrives were out by like 29, even 2018, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, no, he definitely had save states in at least 2016.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
And I ran yeah, my PB on speedrun.com is from September 2016. So
okay.
that lines up.
Yeah, that's like over a year before I started playing Mario One, so you beat me to it.
Mm. Well, you beat my PB, so
I beat a lot of people's PB, to be fair.
yeah, yeah, you did.
uh, good times though.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you have to have the want to do it, but I mean,
yeah,
sub five, really not that hard. I say anyone can do it in a week. That's my tagline at this point. I truly
yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, I wanted to get sub 5, but I just ended up going back to OT because that was my baby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you found a lot more success than you would have found in Mario One, so can't argue
Maybe,
with that.
yeah,
But it's always there,
it is always there.
always
Look at my
nagging.
NES in the corner as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Duck Hunt gun still as well. The zapper,
Do you
the
have the gray
orange
one or
one.
the orange?
It's the orange one.
Mm, not as cool.
Is the gray one the cooler one?
I don't know. Because I have the gray one, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, I see. I see how it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's valid.
Yep. Did you try any other games that we haven't talked about?
I ran Minecraft for a bit.
Oh.
That was pretty fun. I think Minecraft is actually okay. There's three contenders for my most played game of all time. It's Apex Legends, Ocarina of Time, or Minecraft.
Hmm.
Because I played Minecraft. Well, obviously I played OT and Apex Legends both like in a competitive way.
Mm-hmm.
But Minecraft I only ever played like very casually, but I put an unfathomable amount of hours into that. I know in Apex Legends I have how many hours do I have in that game? Maybe like 6,400 or something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I know I checked my OT because on the Wii, you get
Oh
like a
yeah.
little mail thing in your inbox on the Wii menu every day
Didn't
with
that
your
only do
playtime.
it per day though?
It did do it per day, but it listed your playtime down to the second per day.
Oh, so you just go
And
in and add them all up.
yeah, there's a
Okay.
homebrew app called PlayStat that goes
Oh,
through all your
okay.
letters
I
and
didn't
just
know
adds
someone
it
made
all up for
software for
you.
that. Okay, okay.
Yeah, somebody made a homebrew app for it that adds up all your playtime. And I remember adding up my playtime on OT on both my Wiis that I did OT actively on, added up to about 6,000 hours. So, I mean, it should be more now as well because that was a while ago.
And that doesn't include N64 IQ, etc.
Yeah, it doesn't include my N64 playtime, but that's probably just like a couple hundred hours or so.
Okay.
I didn't play N64 categories for very long.
Well.
So yeah, the OT is definitely in like the 6,000s as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Minecraft. I don't have any like actual play stats on it, but like it feels like I've played Minecraft at least as much as I've played both Apex and OT. So it's probably somewhere in that range as well. But yeah, running Minecraft was really, really fun. I think I started it back when I don't remember if Cheese ran it, the SM64 speedrunner, a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then him maybe, and then Simply did it, the other Mario runner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hopped on as well, and it was pretty fun.
That was. I'm trying to remember. That was like COVID just started era, right?
Yeah, it was late 2020.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Minecraft obviously got a huge speedrun boom out of nowhere and became the most popular
yeah,
thing to ever do. But
it did. Yeah, I started like right before the boom. I think is when I
mm,
played it. Like
probably for the
absolutely
best.
exploded.
But
Maybe.
did you
Yeah.
just do like the what is it, random seed glitchless or not
Yeah.
glitchless? I don't know. Whatever the popular one is.
No, it was glitchless. Yeah,
Okay.
RSG, the most popular one that everyone does. I remember
Yeah.
the record at the time. Someone got like a 15-minute time, and I was like, "Yeah, this is crazy." And someone were like, there were some accusations of it being cheated or whatever, but it wasn't. And there's like a crazy, crazy time at the time. And now, if I go to the RSG leaderboard,
It's like six
it's like,
minutes.
yeah, the record is 7 minutes, and the amount of sub 15 times, like from that point, it has to be like, I don't even know if top 1,000 is
Really?
15
Okay.
minutes anyway. Like it's crazy. Yeah, it's
Is
crazy.
could it be a different version though? I forget if like version changes made it. I don't know much about Minecraft, so could be
Everyone plays on the same version of 116 because
okay.
of the Ender Pearl trades being better on that version. So even though Minecraft versions have come out since then and you're allowed to play on them, they're not faster.
Okay, so
So
it's been the same version for this whole time.
yeah, it has
Okay.
been.
Wow.
It's the same version.
Oh, well, I
Um,
know nowadays they allow like you can see every stat ever with a like F3 or something, and then you can also run like nine
yeah,
instances at once and select good
yeah,
spawns.
you can. Yeah, you can run like multiple seeds
I'm sure that
in
helps
the
a
generator
lot,
and stuff.
but
It does, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
I've just found.
I'll never understand Minecraft. It's too complicated for me.
I've just found the first 15-minute time on the RSG leaderboard is place 1,168 is 15 minutes
That's
flat.
wild. I
That is
remember, I think
crazy.
Dowski got like a 15, and it was like top
Yeah,
10 at the
Dowski's pretty
time, and
good.
everyone was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I remember watching Dowski.
Not
He's really, really
anymore.
good. Well, yeah,
That's
it's not a
wild.
top time anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize just how many people got crazy times in that. Again, I know
Yeah,
next to
Minecraft
nothing about the run.
crazy.
I know it's mostly just an RNG fest, good luck champ, but still, that's a
It
lot of
is
players.
it is to some, like, there is a luck element to it, of course, but the
Hmm.
top runners of Minecraft, like probably like the top 500 Minecraft runners are all like incredibly mechanically skilled. Like the stuff that you do in that game is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like I myself as I consider myself one of the most like technically skilled OT runners in terms of like doing like very crazy optimal stuff and not really playing for consistency that much. Like me being one of those people, I don't think I could get good at Minecraft.
Hmm.
It's too hard.
I was gonna
Way too
ask how
hard.
you would say it compares, but there you go.
Yeah, it's like I compare Minecraft in my head at a very top level is equivalent to like keeping up with 15-year-olds with like Fortnite building.
Hmm.
It's just impossible. You can't. It's too much going on. It's too fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
I'll never understand it, but it is popular and
Yeah.
there it exists.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say on it.
One of my OT runners, one of my friends who's an OT runner. One of my OT runners. Yeah, one of my friends called Rix. He's a Brazilian OT runner. Is getting into Minecraft now. He's like learning. He's like learning Bastion routes and doing stuff that like that wasn't really a thing back when I ran. He's like learning metas that evolved way after I ran.
Yep.
But yeah,
You know what you stopped around?
my time
Yeah.
was like 32 minutes, I think, something like
Hmm.
that.
I see.
It
So
wasn't like half bad at the time.
yeah, definitely a different era. It sounds like.
Yeah, definitely different era. Yeah, yeah,
Yep. I will never run Minecraft. Sorry, but
it's okay.
that's uh that is beyond my level of comprehension for sure.
Yeah, I think running Minecraft, if you haven't played Minecraft for like a large portion of your life already, is not that interesting, probably. Like, I
Well,
think
a lot
probably
of
a lot of the
people
people that
have
run
played a
Minecraft.
lot of Minecraft, I guess.
Yep, it is. Isn't it? Minecraft has to be like the most popular game of all time, no? Like overall,
I don't know how you'd be able to judge that stat really, because there's so
it
many
has to be either
platforms and
that
stuff.
or yeah, it has to be either Minecraft or like League of Legends or something.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know where to pull that data from, but
Yeah,
I'm sure it's definitely top five, very
yeah,
very easily.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, so any other games?
Um, I don't think so. I even mentioned Duck Hunt, which I
Yeah,
did. I
that's
have a
very
speedrun
important.
submission of Duck Hunt as well.
Yeah.
So, um, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, Super Mario Bros, Minecraft. Am I missing
Duck Hunt.
something? Duck Hunt.
Yes, very important.
Um, let me check. Yeah, those are the only 5 games on my speedrun.com profile.
And
Oh wait, I actually
99.9% of that is OOT.
yeah, exactly. I actually have some IL runs of well, I don't know if I ever submitted them, but a game called Killing Floor 2, which is
Oh, I've
like
heard
a
of that.
zombie yeah, it's like a zombie wave survival game or whatever. You beat a map if you survive a certain amount of rounds and there's like a boss at the end.
Okay.
I played that game a lot with 2 people specifically. I mentioned them earlier when I talked about the people that got really good at ESS angle changing on Wii
Hmm.
Virtual Console. I mentioned me, Skater, and Pity. Pity, I played a lot of Killing Floor 2 with, as well as with Cheese, the Mario Runner,
Hmm.
and um, we would like try to speedrun like individual levels in Killing Floor 2 for a while, but I don't think we actually ever submitted anything and got like very serious with it. But we played a lot of Killing Floor 2.
All right.
That's like the closest thing to a speed run of anything. Oh, I guess I also learned I had an arc in like I think this was maybe late 2017 or something where I learned Majora's Mask. I had like a bit of a Majora's Mask arc. I played through the game casually. Um, and then I'm like, I'm gonna learn the 80% route. And I learned the 80% route over the course of like maybe a week or two in Majora's Mask. And I killed Majora, I remember, like the final boss. And then I remember saying, like on my stream, yeah, I'm never doing a run of that. And I never did. I just it's horrible. Yeah, I was like, yep, no, I know enough. I'm not running that.
Interesting. Is there like a
Yeah.
specific reason?
Um, okay, so Majora's Mask has this weird thing with the cam because Majora's Mask you would think it's like very similar to OT, right?
Yeah.
Because it is. But the camera specifically in Majora's Mask is like
Mm,
if you took OT's camera and you made it like slippery, oily, weird,
I
they
see.
have like a weird disconnect between where the camera actually is and how your control stick acts on the camera. So in OT, if you turn 180 degrees and then press target, the camera like flips around over the course of like 4 or 5 frames.
Mhm.
And if you move your control stick during some of those frames, it your control stick moves Link relative to where the camera is in like a completely normal way. However, if you turn your camera in Majora's Mask, the way the camera is facing and the way your control stick acts relative to the camera is like desynced by a few frames.
Oh.
So it's like if you 180 and then try to like walk backwards, Link will walk forwards for a couple frames because the camera is like delayed behind where the camera looks like it is. It's really strange.
Oh. So you have to like
So
mentally delay inputs after a camera change?
yeah, that or you can do like a thing where you double tap target in a very specific rhythm that like insta snaps the camera. But then
Oh.
like it's super weird to have to do that as an OT runner who just in my
Mhm.
game the camera just works. I don't know why they changed it. Like
I see.
so yeah, the camera in Majora's Mask is very very awkward to deal with for someone who's very used to OT. And also um when you swim around as Zora Link in that game, the controls were very awkward for me and I hated it. So those are the main two reasons I didn't do a run. I just hated the camera and I hated Zora Link controls.
Well, at least you gave it the college try, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I figured out the camera thing upon booting the game for the first time, and Zora Link controls immediately as I transformed into Zora Link, and I still managed to like go through the whole run just to make
Mhm.
sure that I really didn't want to do this, and I was right. So
There you go.
yeah.
Well, could go into some marathon runs. I
Oh
know you
yeah, I
talked
have
a
been
little bit about summer 2019, but go
yeah.
over the full history.
Yeah, so what marathon runs have I done? I my first marathon run experience was in 2016. I didn't do the run myself. It was Danny B actually who did
Hmm.
a glitchless run. I'm sure he talked about it.
Yeah.
A glitchless run in 2016. Um, I was on the couch for that, but I didn't say a single word the whole time because
Really?
I was so because this was my first time in the U.S. in
Ah.
2016, and I was 16 at the time. I was
Mhm.
there complete. And I went to the U.S. because my parents are sort of. I've been traveling by myself to like see my grandparents because I have to fly to go see my grandparents. So I'd been flying to go see them during the summer and stuff by myself from like a very early age. So they were very comfortable with me like traveling by myself. So
Mhm.
I went to the U.S. at 16 by myself with like no parental supervision or anything.
Can't
Um,
do that at GDQ now. I think you have to be 18 plus to
oh, do you
be there
actually
without
do
a
you actually have
guardian.
to?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Which,
Yeah, they must have
probably
changed
for
that.
the best.
Probably, yeah. But I mean, I was fine. I was just very nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I was completely fine at the event for the most part. It was pretty cool as well because I had just kind of like had my breakout run because I had just got my first record and like a lot of people knew about me.
Hmm.
So that was a cool experience as like little 16-year-old me. But on the couch, I was just completely frozen. It was It was a very nerve-wracking experience for me.
Well, a lot of people at that time, especially a little before then, kind of
Yeah, yeah,
similar. That was kind of the vibe back then, so not too
yeah.
abnormal.
But yeah, the other commentators at least did very well. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think the only words I ever said during that whole like 3 hours, almost 4 hour run were during the collapse cutscene. I explained the RNG thing with the
Mm.
lag because that directly affected me, and I had like some strange controversy involving that like a couple months before that run. So
And you would go on to have some more.
yeah,
The
um,
prophecy.
but yeah, I think the
So that was
first
your first
the
speedrun
first
event, right?
that was my first speedrun event. Yeah,
Okay.
and then I didn't go to another GDQ until I went to what was it? AGDQ 2019, I think.
The
I went to
murder hallway. Does that help?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Instantly
Um,
recognizable.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, I went to that one. I didn't do a run at that one though. I don't remember if I submitted or not. I might have.
That was my first AGDQ. My first
Hmm,
GDQ was
okay.
summer the previous year.
I
So
see. Okay.
I remember the murder hallway very well. As everyone does.
Nice. Yeah.
Benny was great, other than that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
In the winter storm, take those things out.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, then SGDQ 2019, I submitted OT and I got into the bonus run. Um, I actually got sick on the day of
Mm,
my runs. My voice was like broken. So we had I remember it was Richard Sage, the weather up there, and glitches and stuff. Glitches and stuff is actually the person who found SRM.
mm.
They were all on my couch and doing my commentary for me, and we had like practiced in the practice room before, like them sitting behind me doing all the commentary because I was sick. I was gonna do more myself, but
Mm-hmm.
they all ended up taking over,
Well,
and
they
that
know
went
what they're
really
talking
well.
about, I'm sure.
Yeah, 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 they do. And that went really well. I was very happy with my time. I think it was like a 19:52 or something. Which is like a couple minutes off record, but it's pretty good for a game as volatile as OT.
And you're doing GAM, right?
Yep, this is
Okay.
the GIM, the non RNG version of GIM, but only one
But only.
GIM because
Yeah,
it was
okay.
before the yeah.
Got it, got it. Yeah, that was the only in-person GDQ I haven't gone to since my first. So, oh well.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and then I went to AGQ 2020. I didn't do a run there either. But that was my last in-person GDQ. I haven't gone back since.
Mm.
I want to, but I don't know when I'll get around to it.
Yeah, it's definitely not cheap.
Yeah, it's not.
I
Yeah,
can
especially
tell.
as a European.
Yeah, I can tell from horror stories of people that went to like ESA from America.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, I will never go to ESA.
Yeah, I
That's
think
for
it
sure.
cost me. My budget usually when I went to GDQs was like $2,500 maybe for like everything
USD.
included. Like yeah,
Holy fuck. No.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god. That's like the
yeah. I was
amount I've
spent
spent
like
on GDQ total. I've gone there 9 times. That's not true. That's like 5 GDQs probably for me. 4 or 5.
okay, yeah. Jesus, oh god.
Well, I would not
But
be going
yeah.
to GDQ. I'd take the L at that point. God damn.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't taken the L recently. I haven't
Yeah.
gone back since 2020, so.
I mean, fair.
But I did a marathon run. I've done two other marathon runs, I think. One of them was at the first Pace 2019. I
Oh,
did a
okay.
run there.
That's the
Of
only
the same
pace I've
route.
never been to.
Oh, well.
How about
It was
that?
the only pace that I went to. So,
Well, and now we'll never go back again.
yeah, we will not. Um, yeah, that also went pretty well. I was pretty happy with that run, I remember. And then I also did a run at GSA Legends, which was
Oh, that's right. I remember
a
that.
sort of strange
I
event,
know
but
because
it was like a
Cosmic
bunch of
went.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really funny video on ZFG's YouTube channel where because they had like little streaming setups there.
Mm-hmm.
and they had just found Moon Warp, like a massive, massive skip in Majora's Mask. And
Mm.
ZFG was practicing it because he wanted to show it off at the event. So he's practicing it, and he was streaming with Facecam, which is unheard of for
Yeah, he never
ZFG.
does that.
Yeah, but he was streaming from that setup with Facecam on. And in the background of his stream, like right behind ZFG, is me and Cosmic playing like ping pong.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at the like Beyond the Summit house and everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was on the Beyond the Summit house with like I remember like Ludwig and Slime were there. I
Oh,
remember
really?
Smallland
That
was
was
there as
before they
well.
like Ludwig was famous then, wasn't it?
Oh, he was already famous then,
Oh,
yeah.
was he?
Yeah, yeah.
Shows how much I know. But
He's more famous now, I guess, but he was
yeah.
already like a million, 2 million subs maybe on YouTube
Okay.
back then.
Yeah. I wasn't aware of him yet. That came when
Hmm.
he reacted to a Salt video I was in. That's how you get
I see. Okay,
free
yeah.
publicity from that, yeah.
Nice, yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I wasn't actually supposed to do a run at that. I was there just as like a guest or whatever. I wasn't there as a runner, but they
Hmm.
like asked me if I wanted to do a run, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah,
So I did it.
I knew it was invite only. I thought they invited all the talent to perform because I know back then they didn't have like you couldn't be there unless you were invited, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, it was something like that. Um, but
hmm.
yeah, did I go to a different pace? No, 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 no. I'm thinking of I had some
I
point
would
because I
have
roomed with
remembered you at a
ZFG.
pace probably. So,
Yeah, probably. Okay.
no. Um, yeah, but there were other like GSA side events, like the invite only
Hmm.
ones I call them.
Yeah, yeah. Funnily enough, I've never been to an ESA.
That is really funny. That can't be like terribly far from you, right?
No, no, no. It's like I could just take a train there.
Okay, well,
Yeah. I should probably go to an ESA. I have a friend of mine that we went to school together. He's a couple years older than me. That keeps going to ESA and he keeps wanting me to go with him, but I
I feel like
haven't
you'd
said yes.
have to with being that close.
Yeah, at some point I'll have to go to an ESA.
I get wanting to wait a minute, but
Yeah. It's actually I could take a train to ESA, but it's easier for me to take an hour flight to Copenhagen, and then from Copenhagen in Denmark, there's a 10-minute train ride to get to where ESA is.
mm,
Well, if I take the train from where I live, it'd probably be like 6, 7 hours or something. So it's actually
it's
better for me to just
manageable.
fly there.
But I guess if it's not any cheaper, then yeah.
Yeah, it's not like
Oh,
cheap.
okay, then
Like
yeah.
flights to Denmark are very, very cheap.
Okay, then yeah. There's no reason. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you see,
That's pretty
around
much what
these
everyone does.
parts, you just have to fly. You think we have public transport? And no,
Trains in America? No, they would never.
I could never. So, have you done like online stuff, like online
Like
marathons?
online
Yeah.
marathons? Mm, no, I don't think so.
No.
No. Oh, I guess I did technically do one at some point. We had like a we had like a speedrunner team called Frame Perfect or something. That was like a collection of top runners from various games. Like each game had like one runner in it. Um, and we had like a marathon amongst us where we all did our game on like one stream, and that was an online thing. But I can like barely remember that even, so I don't remember how that went or what
I
happened.
haven't even
Anything.
heard of this. I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah. No, it was a bunch of runners,
Hmm.
but yeah. Well, a bunch. It was like me and like maybe like 6 or 7 others.
Hmm.
The only two people I remember that were on that team it was Benny for SM64, and he was like the founder of the team. And then it was
Hmm.
Abney, the Mario
Oh,
Kart runner.
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never heard of this.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like a big thing for a long time. So
Fair enough. Well,
but yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah, it sounds like kind of covered everything.
Yeah, I think I've covered all my bases now for
Yeah,
my history. Yeah.
that's fair. Well, I'll ask about any future plans in terms of speedrunning or anything else related.
Um, I want to come back to classic Kakariko route. I want to try it on the IQ.
Hmm.
We'll see how that goes.
Are you gonna
Other
wait
than that,
to see if they allow the controller thing?
no.
No, you'll try
I'm,
it
I'm,
with the dog shit controller.
I'm just gonna, I'm just, no, I'm just gonna do it with the controller thing and then submit with it to force them to
Oh,
make a
you're gonna
decision.
force them on. Okay, I see. I see.
I'm just gonna force their hand, yeah.
You know, you got to do what you
'Cause,
got to
I
do.
mean, nothing's gonna happen until someone does that. So
Fair.
people have been talking about doing it for a while, but no one's actually done it. So
Hmm. Well, I see.
I might as well be the guy. But other than that, I don't think I have any plans, and I don't even know if I'll ever get around to doing the IQ thing either.
Hmm.
So we'll see.
Are you kind of like speedrunned out?
No, like I thought so when I started playing FPS, but then I came back, and you always come back.
Yeah, I
OT
mean,
always reels you
obviously.
back in. But right now I don't have any specific goals. I have too much stuff going on. Like I have work now, and then I spend a significant amount of my free time learning Japanese,
Mm,
and then I go to the gym. I have like no free time.
fair.
So
Well, if you know, had time and, you know, you could talk about like like far future goals in speedrunning, what would they be?
um I want to get a running classic Kakarika route that is equivalent to a sub 18 with intro. Because I remember Joden's 1807 was considered like a god run.
Mm,
So, but skill has changed. Like people are a lot better at the game now than they were 10 years ago. So I think I want to try to get a time that would be absolutely unheard of back then, which would be sub 18
okay.
equivalent. So it's now that would be like, what would that be? I guess on IQ it would be like an eight, or it would be uh what is the time conversion again? 1512. Yeah, 1512, I think.
Okay.
1512 would be the time that I would want, I think. Or maybe like a 1510 would be cool. It's actually funny, my current PB was on pace. Like it was on pace to be like the best OT run I'd ever done in any category.
Hmm.
It was such a perfect run until the Ganon fight, and then I choked 8 seconds away in the Ganon fight,
Oh,
and I still got record by 3 seconds.
and that's with
It
the
was
slower
almost it.
console.
That's with a slower console.
Wow.
It was almost it. That was almost the OT run of all time. But
would
yeah,
you would have would you have beaten the time you wanted even with the console?
yeah, by a
Really?
lot.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I would have beaten what will be my IQ goal now by 4 seconds on VC.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that yeah.
That's really it then?
That is it, I think. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, surely you'll find other speedrun goals someday.
Yeah, maybe I'll dust off the NES one day. You never know.
You know, you ever feel the itch? Come to me. I'll get you sub 5 in a week,
Love
guaranteed.
that. All right. Will do. All right.
But yeah, I guess that's really everything. I mean, I didn't miss anything you feel important to talk about, right?
No, I don't think so. No.
All right,
I think I covered everything.
sounds good. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we'll call it a day.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, I guess where can people find you?
Yeah, so when I stream once in a blue moon, it's at twitch.tv/Torje, Torje.
The Wii Sonic.
I yeah. um and I don't really use my Twitter anymore, but my Blue Sky is the same as my Twitch, just with .bsky.social at the end.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for having me. It's
Yeah.
been a blast.
I also have the YouTube link. I assume you don't have like any YouTube content plans other than just uploading highlights.
Yeah, I just upload my OT stuff there when it happens.
Yeah, I get that. All right. But yeah, I guess that's everything. So, yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on the show. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned every Sunday for future episodes here on Twitch and on YouTube. That's really all I got then. So, all right. Bye bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.